I was an underwriter. They tried to force me to sign off on loans that I really didn't want to sign off on. I wasn't comfortable with the loans because it was quite obvious that a lot of these people didn't qualify for these loans. And if you sign off on a loan and it's a bad loan and you are the underwriter, then it comes back down on you. And the more mistakes you make, the more that counts against you. And that could also create your termination or give cause for termination. But I was an underwriter for over 20 years, and I thought they were hiring me for my knowledge and expertise. And I didn't want to make any bad loans. I didn't want to make bad loans not only for the customer, I didn't want to make bad loans for the company. And it just didn't feel right to me to put people in properties that I knew that they obviously could not afford. And there were a lot of stated income loans where the due process of the underwriting process was kind of like sidestepped. And so you kind of look at basic key points. But like we would have loans where a babysitter, a woman who has 3 or 4 children who claims she has a babysitting service and she makes $10,000 a month, who's trying to buy a condo in downtown Portland. And it's obvious that this just doesn't make sense. Sometimes you have to use your common sense. And if the underwriter questions the validity of the information, then they have a right to request additional information and to say, well, in order to support this information, we need to get bank statements or something, tax returns to verify this income. It's the underwriter's call, technically. But we got to the point to where if I questioned anything, then I was criticized. And then what happened to most of the loans that I would refuse to sign off on, it would just go to my manager or his manager, and somebody else would sign off on it. But the more that I questioned things, the more I was penalized for it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was harassed, and that's one of the reasons why I was fired. What ended up happening, I think, that caused everything to change was when they started paying exorbitant commissions. When the loan officers became eligible to receive outrageous commissions, then they started pushing things to try to create more loans, to create more business so they can make more money. And then when I was working, I started working, I used to enjoy my job. I used to work for the customers. I enjoyed the fact that I could help people in some way, to get them into homes, to help them to accomplish the American dream. That was my satisfaction. That was my fulfillment. But further down the line, what ended up happening is that it wasn't about that anymore for other people. When they started wanting to make money, then that's all they cared about, was how to get the money and to make the bonuses. There was a lot of pressure placed on loan officers too, that they had to make a certain amount of money every month to meet a certain quota. So when you're trying to meet quotas and you're trying to make bonuses, you're trying to get year-end commissions and things like that, all of a sudden it's not about the customer anymore. It's not about making good loans. It's about making the money. It's about getting the commissions. The only way for the people to take their power back is to take their money out of the banks. When they got bailed out by the government, billions of dollars, this money was supposed to go to modify the mortgages, and that money was supposed to filter down to the customers. And that money did not get passed down where it was supposed to do the most good. This money went into bonuses. This money went into their pockets. This money is sitting in their vaults right now to cover them, And so many people are losing their homes. Many people, like myself, I've lost my house. I had to file bankruptcy. I can't get a job right now because of my credit score. But the reason I think that the banks have so much power is because they've got the politicians in their pockets, the lobbyists are in there, they're pushing their agendas, and so the people are not being represented properly. So I think that in order for the people to really be heard, we need to take positive action, strong action, get the money out of the banks, take the control away from them. If they have no money to operate with, then that makes a very powerful statement. I don't think that people should go away. I don't think this movement should go away. I think that we just really need to continue to make our voices heard.